These are 3 things that Sonic Mania 2 could do to improve on the first game.
Janjo.
Hey everyone, I'm Jesse from the Janjo Zone. Thank you for checking out this video, and if you enjoy this kind of content, consider subscribing if you haven't, and liking this video if you want to see more content like this one. So Sonic Mania 2, I've talked about it in the past. I've talked about things that they could do, that Sega team, Sonic team, Sega, whatever, they could do to improve on the first game, or at least aspects that they could add to it. I think I went through a lot of great ideas. A lot of you in the comments commented on some great ideas that they could also implement, as well as pivoting off my own ideas. So we got a lot of great ideas from that, and it's still worth a video to check out. But I wanted to make a part 2 because there was 3 other things that I was thinking of that could improve it, not necessarily from just an additional wise, but just flat out improving on aspects that the first game had. So let's jump in with the first one. So the first one I have are level objectives. I think level objectives would be an interesting way to change the formula up a little bit. I always like when Sonic changes up the formula because it does get kind of formulaic. Not saying necessarily it gets bad, but when they introduce new types of mechanics, I always tend to like it. You look at games like Sonic Adventure, I know it's a 3D title, but they added mechanics like Gamma or Robotnik's machine things or treasure hunting. They added many more mechanics to change the game up. Talking about Sonic Heroes, they added Knuckles Chaotix, which had their own sort of treasure hunt. They had their own level objectives of sorts. Even going off of Sonic Advance, you had Amy Rose, which was a completely different play style, which felt like a whole other type of game. So I think level objectives would be really cool in a Sonic Mania 2, even if it's just not even called Sonic Mania 2, if there's another 2D Sonic game that's akin to the original games. Having level objectives would be really fun because it would allow you to explore the stage more, allow you to find nooks and crannies and stuff. And that's something I really like about Sonic the Hedgehog games. That's what I really loved about Sonic CD and Sonic Mania, those 2 games specifically, is that there was a lot to explore in the level, because usually in a Sonic game it's just left to right. You go really fast, a lot of long shoots, twists and turns and loop-de-loops, and that's kind of about it. But when you get to explore the level, you get to appreciate the level design, the aesthetics of the level a bit more, just the whole stage in and of itself, more than just a racetrack. That's what I really liked about Sonic CD, is that in that game you had to look for many things. You had to look for speed signs, speedways to get your speed, get your momentum. You had to look for the machine transformer things that turned the animals into machines in the past. You had to find the Metal Sonic projector. There was that Eggman statue in that one wacky workbench stage that you got a trophy if you saw an achievement. And then in Sonic Mania, kind of similar thing, you had to look for the special stage rings. It wasn't quite as much as in Sonic CD, but you're still more likely to explore the stage, especially with characters like Tails, Knuckles, Ray, these characters that were just inherently better for exploring the stages, and for me that made them really fun to play with. Especially Tails, because you just fly everywhere. I think that was really fun. So I think Sonic Mania 2 could really improve having level objectives. They don't necessarily need to be the main objective, but I think having those side objectives could really have the game in a different playstyle. You could go from an any percent to a 100% type of game to find more things, destroy certain creatures, find certain landmarks, more than just a special stage rings. I think that would be really fun and a very underappreciated mechanic throughout the Sonic games, because it has, like I've mentioned with my examples, has popped up in many Sonic games in the past, and I think level objectives would be really awesome to have. Wait, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because that helps me upload more videos and know that you like content like this. So number 2 is mashup levels. One thing that I think a lot of people liked about Sonic Mania was that they brought back a lot of classic stages from Sonic 1, 2, 3, and CD. There's a lot of fantastic stages, and not only that, but they incorporated gimmicks from original gimmicks in usually the first version of the stage and the second version, or even sometimes first version for that matter. They incorporated gimmicks from other stages as well. Look at Oil Ocean, for example. They incorporated the Sandopolis Act 2 lights turning on off gimmick, but change it slightly to make it gasoline, make it gas that would harm you if turned red enough. It was kind of weird, but I get what they're going for. So they incorporated stuff like that in Sonic Mania 2, or Sonic Mania 1. For Sonic Mania 2, I think to go a step beyond, I would not want to see that again, because we've already been there, we've already done that, we've got big stages. Sure, I would like to see more stages throughout the history of Sonic, of classic Sonic, maybe stages like Hilltop from Sonic 2, or maybe even some of the portable entry games like Robotnik Winter Zone or something, you know, something fun like that. So I think with mashup levels, I think would be a different way to incorporate this. Make it more very distinct as 2 levels, worlds colliding kind of thing. That would be really fun to have. So it's like the universe is shifting and melding and stuff. They could even put it more closely to the modern timeline of Sonic, where it is more of a classic Sonic, but like in the current timeline of Sonic the Hedgehog, where the time travel stuff that's been going on in Forces and Generations have really starting to affect the past. That sort of thing I think would be really cool to go off of. So you can mix stages, like you could have a Hilltop mixed with a Mystic Cave Zone, or you could have a Wacky Workbench mixed with a Mushroom Hill. Some sort of mix smash. It could be parts of stages, it could just be a complete meld Chimera stage. I think that'd be a really cool and different way than just incorporating gimmicks or just having individual stages and changing them up aesthetically. I think mashup levels would be a really cool way to do this in Sonic Mania 2, in a Sonic Classic sequel. And yeah, I think mashup levels would be really awesome. So the final thing I wanted to add was a skill tree. This may be the more controversial take for a classic Sonic game, but hear me out here. See, in Sonic Mania, you could unlock many abilities to use. You already had the drop dash in the game, but you could also have, you also had the spin dash, but you could also play with the super peel out. You had the insta shield. You had other stuff you could select in the game, but they didn't add on top of the already existing abilities you had. It just replaced it. On top of that, you can't even save the file with them, which really sucked. And it made me want, like, man, I wish I could use all of these in just one go. There might be a mod of that. I'm not entirely sure. But I think a skill tree would be really cool to have, because it adds a progression and a lockability in Sonic games that you could be required to play the game a couple more times if you haven't unlocked these abilities, to unlock them, to have these crazy runs in the game, to have all these abilities, not just for Sonic, for every character too. You could have something with Tails to unlock, let's say, a cancelable flying ability, or super flight, where he flies way faster, or something along those lines. And you can do this with other characters as well. And the way you could do these is with some sort of currency, like let's say you need rings at the end of the stages, and those rings will save into a trunk into a wallet you can use. So it's not just you need the special stages to, well, it's not so that you just need the rings to access certain signpost related things. Now, it's akin to Sonic 1, where you get to the end of a stage, and if you have enough rings, then you get special stage, but in this case, it's not a special stage, you just keep those rings in a collective pool to use them for a skill tree, so you can decide what type of Sonic you want to play with. Do you want to have a more offensive Sonic that's good for beating bosses and badniks, or you want one that's more speed-oriented, or whatever. There's a lot of things you could do with the skill tree. It doesn't need to be super complicated, it doesn't need to be crazy. It can be pretty simple, have a couple of branching things for certain things. It can be like 10 abilities. Nothing too crazy. I think this would be a really fun way to have a refresh on the characters instead of just having Sonic come back and having a new ability. I think it's time for Sonic to evolve a little bit. Hell, maybe even a homing attack. you could give classic Sonic a homing attack from in Sonic Generations. I know that's a very controversial thing, but these are just examples that you could do. These aren't necessarily things that they would have to add. Obviously, this is all just me speculating on things that I think would improve on a Mania sequel, on a classic Sonic sequel game. So I think these are definitely ways to improve the game. So again, the 3 things that I want for a Sonic Mania 2, apart from my part 1 video, I don't know if I'm even calling this part 2, will be level objectives, mashup levels, and skill tree. Mashup levels, that's more akin to a Sonic Mania 2 specifically. Obviously, that's if you're going with that route. I would also be fine with some of the ideas I have for the first part. But level objectives, I think, would be really awesome. I think a skill tree would also be another way to improve on the classic Sonic playstyle. All these things, I think, would improve on the formula and keep it from being stale. It would make it fresh. It would add optional things you could do in the game. They would not be mandatory to do, at least in terms of the objectives and the tree. I think it'd just be really fun to have in the game. So obviously let me know what you think about these. Are there any other things you would like to add in a Sonic Mania 2? And if you want to see more Sonic content from me, just leave me suggestions for videos ideas, because I would love to do stuff alongside you all and all that fun jazz. Also, consider checking out my merch and my Patreon if you want to support me further and get some fantastic, awesome Janjo merch. Or on my Patreon, if you join my highest tier, you can suggest a video monthly, and that's freaking awesome, man. So, yeah, until next time, have a wonderful day.